Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee. So yes, I realize that it is not the end of May, and yes, I do have a new backdrop up. The reason why I decided to put another backdrop up was because you guys did not seem to like the last one that I had up. I was actually reading a lot of comments that said like, Jessii, did you lose a bet and have to put that backdrop up? Like, you guys just thought it was absolutely horrendous. So I thought for a second I'd just explain myself. Online, that green backdrop looked so good. It was these beautiful like paint swatches, and when I got it in person, it was super pixelated. It didn't really look like the picture. I was kind of scammed a little bit, to be honest, but I was hoping that you guys wouldn't really notice that it wasn't that nice looking. So I put it up for a while and every comment was like, Jessii, what the heck is behind you? So then I thought I'd just put this one up for the rest of May. And yes, this one is a painting as well, but I think it's a lot nicer. I like the pinks and the blues and the greens. So it's really nice, but I'm also an artist myself, so I appreciate stuff like this. So hopefully you guys like this one. It's only gonna be up for a little while, and then I'm gonna get some really nice summer backdrops, I think. But yeah, right now we are in front of a pond. And this is an actual like famous painting, and you'd think I'd remember the name of it and the artist. I did art history for like 5 years, but I don't really remember. But anyways, before I get into this story time and before I show you guys something very interesting and scary, I just wanted to remind you that I do have some new spring and summer merch out. I have a tank top right here. It says embrace your weird side, and it's this really cool material. I think it's called a burnout tee, where like different parts of the shirt have more see-through material than the other parts. It's super soft. I have it all on my new website, linked down below. There is purple and there's also a white version. Now these are limited edition summer merch, so once it's sold out, it's sold out. So if you want to grab it while it's still available, the link is down below. On to the story. So this is a very unexpected thing to be telling you guys, but I feel like you'd be really interested in it. So there is this place kind of near my house. It's called Wastewise, and it's this non-profit business where you can go and drop things off from your house, from your life, just items that you have that you don't want anymore, but you don't necessarily want to throw out, if that makes sense. So if you have an item that's dear to you but you don't want it, you put it in this building called Wastewise, and other people, like strangers, can go in there and pick it up and bring it home. So it's like this facility filled with old unwanted objects that people can go inside and take stuff home if they want and swap things, and it's a pretty cool place. It actually reminds me like exactly of the place that Shane and Bunny went to in their video. If you haven't seen that video, they go to this place called Uncommon Objects, I'm pretty sure, and it's just this building filled with shelves and shelves of old objects. That is basically what Wastewise is. So it's like my version of Bunny and Shane's video. So it's pretty cool how I have something like that near my house, and this is where the whole story comes in. So Ty's aunt went to visit this place for the first time. I can't remember when she went. It could have been about a week ago. And she went in there and she was looking around at all the cool stuff, and she came across these two dolls that I think were sitting beside each other. She told me this whole story and I was so intrigued by it, but it is her story, so hopefully I'm telling it right. I'm gonna try my best to remember what she told me. But she was in this place and she saw these really old dolls, and she felt this pull towards them right away that she can't really explain. Like, they were drawing her closer, and it reminded me exactly about what Bunny, aka Graveyard Girl, was saying about that haunted doll that she had. So Ty's aunt just felt drawn towards them. She really wanted to take them home, but she just thought, okay, I'm gonna go back home and think about this. So she went back to her house and she just kept thinking about these dolls all day, and they just kept popping up in her mind. And like I said before, she just felt drawn to them. So the next day she went back to this Wastewise place and decided to get them. So I'm gonna try and describe these dolls before I show them to you. So one is this stuffed doll that has these little leather boots on it. All of the clothes were removed for some reason, so it's just like this white cloth body. And then the head of this doll, it's a porcelain head that someone has like smashed on the ground. So there's only this one little piece left of the head, so you can't even see the face anymore. It's the creepiest creepiest thing, but it's the coolest thing at the same time. And then there's also this little tiny porcelain baby doll that came with it. But I feel like that one's not as creepy as the doll that's like been smashed. So she took these two dolls back to her house and decided to put them in her basement. She reminds me of myself because whenever I get creepy dolls or stuff like that, the basement is like the place for them. That's like the go-to place to put them. So she put them down into her basement and she went about her day. And a little later on, she started hearing giggling coming from the basement. Like it sounded like little kids were playing down there. And that's like red flag number one, right? Because obviously she doesn't have little kids playing in her basement. So instantly her mind went to the dolls. So she went and stood at the top of her stairs and listened into her basement, and she started hearing one of the dolls take the voice of her next door neighbor. Like it was literally mimicking her next door neighbor's voice and was like calling to her and stuff like that. So that is so freaky. I have heard so many times about haunted dolls sounding like people in your life to sort of pull you in and draw you in. So that was like it for her. She finally decided to go get the dolls from her basement and she put them out on her porch in front of her house, and the doll kept sounding like her neighbor, and it was the weirdest thing ever. So she called me and she was telling me this story and I was so intrigued. Like stuff like this, I'm just so interested by it. So she was like, so I'm gonna bring them to your house. And like I had excitement, but also like fear at the same time, but like I just really wanted to see these dolls. So she brought them over to my house, and suddenly I sort of had a change of heart when it came to these dolls, because to be honest with you guys, I have had a lot of bad luck in my life lately. Like everything seems to be going wrong, and I don't want to sit here and like give you a whole sob story about what's happening in my life, but things just haven't been good the past couple months. So I just thought that bringing in potentially haunted dolls into my house would not be a good idea, because I know that also brings in negative energy, and I already have enough paranormal stuff happening here, you know that. And lately I've kind of wanted to distance myself from stuff like that, even though I literally just went to a haunted hotel. That series will be up on Friday. But I think in terms of my house, like where I live now, I want to start making this an environment of positivity, and I want all that negative energy out. So when she brought them to my house, I was like, thank you so much, but I think we're gonna keep them on the porch. So that's where they are right now. I have that haunted doll sitting out on my porch. You guys probably saw it in the thumbnail. I'll put the thumbnail here as well, but she has, I don't know if it's a she. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl doll. I'm thinking it's a girl doll, but that's where she has been the last few days, and the neighbors probably are wondering what the heck it's doing out there. But that's where the doll is right now, and so I'm not gonna bring them in to show you in front of this camera, but if you want to see these dolls like in action, I decided to bring them to the haunted hotel that I just got back from. So we actually used a spirit box to try and communicate with these haunted dolls at this hotel. So if you guys want to see this series and us trying to communicate with them and find out more information, definitely watch the series starting Friday, because it is absolutely insane and so cool. But yeah, I thought you guys would just probably want to hear this story. At first I wasn't going to tell it because I didn't want to like bring this up and then not be able to bring them in my house, but I think you guys can understand where I'm coming from, where I want my house to be a safe place, and then whenever I want to do something paranormal, I can just go to a hotel, because after that's done, I can come back to my house and feel okay and safe and have positive energy here, because I do want my life to start looking up and not being so negative, if that makes sense. But what's really cool is that Ty's aunt spoke to the people who own Wastewise, and they told me that whenever I want to go there and film a video, just like Shane and Bunny did, I can go and have like full reign of the place. We can film all the creepy, crazy objects that are there. I spoke to my sister Mandy and she said that she's down to do that like anytime. Even Brittany and her brother Jonathan are willing to go there. So I think that's pretty cool. I might do that at some point this summer. I have their card so I can call them and we can go in anytime. So if you guys would be interested in us going to this Wastewise place, definitely give this video a thumbs up so I know, and look forward to the haunted hotel series on Friday. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. It's just crazy, guys. It's crazy. But anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for listening to this story, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!